hello. Welcome to Rose B2B Video Ads LinkedIn Live. I'm your host, Rish, and today with me, I have Julien Sauvage, CMO Cordial. Hi, Julien. How are you doing?
It's the morning here in California. My Wi-Fi is still a little cold. Sorry. I hope you can hear me and see me okay.
Maybe, Julien, let's start with a quick intro. I've known Julien. I had a fanboy moment with Julien probably a couple of years ago when I heard him at PMA event at Oakland. And it's amazing. I mean, it's not just you learn from him. Like, of course, you learn from him the basics, but he also entertains you really well. So that was the number one thing he's doing. I want you to be on my show. But maybe you can take us through your journey, how you landed up into B2B marketing, and what's your experience so far?
Yeah, it was kind of like a little random for me. I guess every journey has an element of randomness, but I was a pre-sales and consultant engineer back in France, in Paris, and I kind of like stumbled upon Tech stumbled upon me, I guess, a couple of years ago, 12 years ago now. And that's kind of how it all started. I kind of entered marketing via the PMM angle, or leading rather, and kind of like moved up the ranks, if you will. And now I'm a CMO at Cordial.
Quick intro about me. So I run ContentBeta. We are a creative as a service for B2B SaaS. So anytime you see creative bottlenecks or you have the outdated sales material, you know who to reach out to. So let's jump in. So the theme of the show is roasting video ads, B2B video ads. I know the topic is roast, but we are trying to take it more in the educational sense. So it's not a traditional humor show. What we'll do is we'll go through some of the ad creatives from the B2B tech world, and put up our point of view that, hey, how would we change it, or what we'd like or what we didn't like. But before we jump in there, probably we'll start with first, Julien, why do you think B2B ads are boring and they fail to convert?
I mean, it's hard. B2C ads are way easier than B2B ads. So when I hear people say boring to boring, B2B is boring, like sometimes it is true, but it's also like, it's easy to say, right? Because we sell, B2B software, SaaS and AI stuff. So it's intangible. You're setting logic, you're setting the promise of something that will give you an outcome. So it's not something you can touch and you can get, and it just makes the job a little harder. But I do think that oftentimes in B2B, simple and human feel risky. And so we, as B2B marketers, we just add a bunch of stuff. We add layers, we have jargon, we add enterprise languages, we put some features, and all we do is really add in friction. And so it's almost like, I don't know if B2B ads are boring, but they're safe. And I think they fear the simplicity, and then they end up being a bit of a product and messaging soup, which make them a little boring, or at least a little cautious.
We'll move on to the first ad creative, and let's see how much we can cover, Julien.
Okay, sounds good.
Lovely. So this one is a video ad.
Your customer base is growing, and so are your integration requests. You built 1, then 3, then 10. Before long, your team is spending more time maintaining integrations and building the new ones your customers need. And while all of that is happening, your product roadmap...
I'll just make a pause here because the style is repetitive. But I'll turn it on the mute, and Julien, maybe you want to start with this one. Julien, if you want to take a dig at this while we keep the player on.
I don't know if it's you or me, but it's probably my Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. It's super laggy. Sorry. So my reaction to this is, it feels old school. I like that we start with like a good hook and kind of like the problem statement. We know pretty soon what this is about, but the music, I'm big on like background music in video ads and whatnot. Like the music sounds a little like AI-y, and I think the visuals, maybe it's the visual brand of the company itself, but it does seem a little not super modern and sleek. That's kind of my take on it. I don't think it's badly done. It's just I would just modernize the whole thing a little bit.
Yeah, I think I liked it too, but the problem is I felt that most motion ads, they look quite similar. I mean, this is very old school explainer video kind of video.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think people when I'm scrolling as a viewer, if something usual comes in, I'll just pass it through. It doesn't make me stop my scroll. Um, that's something. What are your thoughts, Julian? If should someone do like lo-fi stuff to get attention? What can somebody really do to get attention on LinkedIn?
I mean, it's going to be such an annoying answer, but it depends. Some of those it depends answers where it depends on your market, your ICP, your buyer, your user. If they don't mind lo-fi and the jams and jives with them, then cool. You should absolutely do it. It's a good attention grabber. Like it would grab my attention, but I don't know if it would necessarily grab like your ICP's attention, because maybe they want something a little more modern or more buttoned up or something a little crazier. So that's why I always say one of the main differences as well, and that maybe that was cut because of my stupid Wi-Fi and audio issues, but one of the main differences between B2B and B2C in terms of ads in general, I guess I would say even in terms of marketing in general. Yes, it's you're selling consumer products versus you're selling software, but also B2C is so much better at research than we are in B2B. And they spend the time and the money to deeply understand the emotional aspect of the sale. And that's why oftentimes the ads are just more compelling. We go straight to solution. We don't really do as much research on our ICP as I think we should.
Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So this one is static. This one is by RevGate, but this came on my feed the other day. What do you think, Julien, about this?
Yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about it, because the first reaction, I was like, oh, cool, interesting. I kind of like it. Like it was visually compelling, right? And I've always liked the underline and the little like visual treatments around that. Also like just bold text and no image, because oftentimes the images are just, city and AIE. So I liked the visuals, and then I read the thing and I was like, cool. I have no idea what they do. Like I really have no idea. All right. It's going to be brutal am I an AI startup? Are you an AI startup? I don't think we're ignoring pricing. Are you ignoring pricing? So then I was like, oh, cool, RevGate. I have no idea. Like I literally had no idea. So good visuals, but the message is completely off in my mind. It doesn't tell you anything. And I still to this day have no idea what RevGate is doing.
Only thing it had done a good job is connect pricing with RevGate. So I know something about RevGate. They look at my pricing, but apart from that, and maybe they would have hyper targeted towards AI startups. So probably if I'm a AI startup founder or like an ops guy.
Yeah. Well, if it was in your feed, that means you're labeled as an AI startup guy yourself. So that's cool. I guess that's a good tag.
Let's move on to the next one. So this one is also quite interesting one. I just played the one.
Cool.
Dr. Reginald Sigmund Tillwink III speaking, dream scientist, philosopher, almost best-selling author.
Hi, I just read your LinkedIn benchmarks report. That stat about the B2B customer journey being 211 days. Brilliant.
211 days? Well, that's unusually long for a sleep cycle. Was this lucid dreaming?
No, the LinkedIn ads report, first touch to close one. Amazing.
Well, I don't know what this first touch to closed one is, but it sounds deeply inappropriate. Good day.
It's Dream Data. Listen, I think playing with humor is extremely, extremely hard because it's cultural and risky. People can take offense and whatnot. So I think it's well done. Like I actually had a little giggle. I think there's like multiple moments that are like kind of funny and quirky in a way. The beginning is a good one. You're like, who's that weird doctor guy? And it might be a little long before you get to the punchline at the end. But I think it's well done. I also like Dream Data as a company, and I think their message is pretty sweet. The only thing I would say would be that punchline, which is really like the whole aha at the end. This is too long. Like the image that you have paused on the screen now, Rish, it's just like, oh man, you have to like take a moment to really like know what this is about. I would like cut the words by 2. But I think the rest is pretty well done. At least I found it funny, which is a win.
I found it, I mean, of course, nobody could predict that, hey, this is about Dream Data, but if I'm watching this for the first time, of course, the hook was interesting because it's a historical character, but it's too long. I think the first 18 or 20 seconds is just that guy talking about himself.
Yeah, it's too long.
And if I didn't know it's Dream Data, I couldn't connect the dots. Only when I see it's Dream Data, oh, that's what these guys are talking about. So, yeah, it takes some time. Probably if they could cut it by half, the overall length.
I agree. It's too long, and like you're saying something that I think is worth just like pausing on for a second. Like you didn't really know Dream Data, and so it didn't really speak to you. I knew of them. I know what they do. I've downloaded 1 or 2 reports and whatnot. So that ad, actually, I found it helpful and funny because I knew of them. So it's like it actually really forces the marketer to think about, is it an educational ad? Is it a little more middle and down funnel? Is the ICP target for that ad really still browsing, or do they heard about us already? Like it really forces us to think deeply about how aware of your brand, your target audience already is. And then you would tweak your creative and your message based on that.
How would you market differently to people who are aware of your brand versus somebody who has not heard of you, like a newbie in the market?
I mean, newbie in the market it's all, you know, the good old like problem aware, solution aware, like those stages that I actually like better than top of the funnel, middle funnel. So like if they're really unaware, like let's make sure they get the problem. And so you would spend time on the problem statement, and then maybe at the very end you hit them with like a 2-second clip, which is, well, we can help with that problem. That's how I would do it. And of course, if they're aware of your brand, it becomes a little more around what makes you different, what's your mission, how customers are using you, you know, how to use the product, a little more down funnel content, I guess.
If somebody's, if an audience is in your solution aware, they probably will used to spend more time on the brand and the product, is it?
Yes, absolutely. For sure. Yeah.
Let's jump on to the next one. This one, the static one. Everybody gets AI except procurement. I feel it's offensive, but what do you think?
It is offensive, but it's bold. Like that's, I kind of like it in a way, I think. Well, I know the zip code. I know this is about procurement, AI, tech, something, although I've never heard of the name of that company. Everybody knows Opera and like her, and it's a human face. I don't love the visual treatment of the right arm, and it looks like a Terminator robot. I think that's just a very 1990s way of looking at AI. So I don't like that personally, but that might be my taste. So yeah, I mean, I'm not in procurement, so I'm not offended. But if your ICP is in procurement, that might be a tad too bold. I don't know. Maybe they did some testing and it kind of works for them. But as a non-procurement people, I kind of like it, apart from the weird mechanical arm thingy.
Maybe if I'm in procurement, it might tease me that, hey, are you saying I don't get AI? Let me see what this is.
Yeah. I'd love to see how, like, maybe we can find the feed where that app was where that showed up and see how people reacted to it. Maybe
maybe I'll find it out and put it in the comments in a day or two.
Yeah, that'd be fun. See what reactions people got from it.
Let's go to the next one. So this one is again static ad. So this came on my Instagram feed, like in the stories mode, and it just says ad-free YouTube.
Yeah. It's so funny because when you and I were prepping for this, you showed me this thing and I was like, oh, the video app doesn't loop for me, doesn't work. And then you were like, Julien, dude, it's a static app. So it definitely caught my attention. And am I assuming this is a YouTube ad for like YouTube Premium or whatever, like the ad-free YouTube? If that is, it's cool. It's well done. I would want to go click that sign up button and see what happens for sure. So I found it provocative and intriguing.
It's not about YouTube Premium. It's about Comet, the Perplexity browser, which does not let any ad feed or even like any static ad or pre-ad rolls come onto your YouTube.
Oh, that's very smart. And now that you mentioned that, I see Perplexity at the top. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. It's a bet, right? Like, cause like their brand was completely hidden. I didn't even have an idea about that being Perplexity's. So it's a bit of a bet of like, they hope you're gonna stop scrolling and click through. So I think it's cool. It's different.
Yeah, I really like this. It's like a plain white paper and just like a couple of words.
Yeah,
it means something. I mean, when you get like targeted a lot of times with different ad creators and you just have something simple, it makes you think.
It does, absolutely. And I like the fact that they played, it's like YouTube is the key, right? Like they lead with YouTube. It could have been something else because Comet has a lot of like features like that, but they went straight for YouTube because they know how painful it is within Chrome to look at a YouTube video and have 1,000 ads. So like they went straight for the pain point. And I think that's pretty clever.
Wow. So this one is again a video ad, and I'll just play the.
Oktopost has helped shape the marketer I am today. Oktopost has empowered our team to find their voice and create an environment where everyone feels confident sharing their insights and expertise. Thank you, Oktopost, for being more than a tool. You are a true partner.
Yeah.
Like a classic testimonial video, but
yeah. I would assume if it's testimonial video, they probably target people who they think already know them and know their product. But I actually don't. I wish I did. I don't. So like I'm still left out with like, okay, what do they do exactly? They help. Cool. I know it's for marketers, so I know the zip code, but then they help with communication and insight. Is that like a Slack for marketer? Like I have no idea. Right. So I don't know. I always feel like no matter where you are in what like stage of the buyer's journey you're targeting with your ads, you always have to make it self-explanatory and always, never assume people know what you're doing. And even if it's a testimonial video, more mid-funnel, down-funnel type thing, like it's always good to remind everybody what your product is about and what space you're in. So I think that's a bit of a miss. They should have introduced they should have put more like context around it. It's not bad. It's just like very targeted to people already knowing the product.
Something I felt off was so they want to create authentic content by showing like real customers.
Yeah.
Somehow this clip didn't feel that authentic, and plus they had added this video editing magic.
Yep.
I mean, if you're trying to show me authentic content, just show it to me as is. I mean, don't try to make like animations or like cloud signature edits out of it.
Yeah.
I felt that it defeats the purpose of, is it really authentic?
Yeah. It also seems like she's reading a script, which is normal. Like it's hard for like people to be on camera and whatnot, right? But you can tell she's like looking at here and then looking there and then looking back here. Like it's just that usual like I'm reading the script on the left-hand side of my screen, and yeah, it's fine. I think it's fine. It's not amazing.
So this one, so I'll play A and B one by one, and you got to guess which one was created using AI.
Oh, that's fun. I'm going to get
Even
it
if
wrong.
you're a gun at selling, let's be real. Research and building lists can chew up your whole day. That's why I'm all in on Lusha. It's this prospecting AI tool. Think Spotify, but for sales. I just punch in how many leads I want.
Pause this one and play the B one.
BDRs, if you want to become account executives, you need Lusha's competitive edge. Its AI takes care of the entire prospecting process, quickly sending you qualified leads based on your ICP. They call it sales streaming. Get it for 35% off through August 31st.
So what do you think? Which one is an AI cheater?
I guess it kind of depends how you define like using AI. Is it an AI like person, a fake person, or is it just like using
AI avatar? Like which one?
Oh, like an avatar? I have no idea, man. They kind of sound. Feel bad for the actual human being, but on this call or on this ad, but it's a little similar. I cannot tell. I don't know. I would say AI is A because, well, if that's, yeah, I'll explain why I think that, but I'm not sure.
I think your first hunch was correct. That it was bad for a human voice. I think both A and B are AI.
Both are AI?
Both are AI.
Oh, you tricked me. There you go. I thought it was not B because
when you say A versus B, you think you have to pick one, and sometimes answer is both, sometimes answer is
Oh my God, Ray, you trick question, man. I got tricked. Well, thank God we're not offending any human and it's all AI. But like the B one at the very end, it's funny because she does like this. I don't know if you saw that, which sounds like it could be like she's a human and you would expect she stops the recording and like press that button because she like tilts her head a little bit. Maybe that's on purpose, but anyhow, and even AI is AI, so it's fun.
What do you think today? How can marketers use AI in their creative? I'm talking mostly about the ad creative front. What is the best way to use AI in your view?
Well, I'm not a creative. I've never worked as a creative person myself. I've always managed the creative department, so I'm not a user per se. I'm more like a buyer, if you will, or a stakeholder. I don't know. It does feel like if you treat AI as your, co-founder or your business assistant and use it to like brainstorm and get new ideas, then it's cool. If you completely outsource everything to AI, it's probably not going to be the best outcome, as we can tell from this. I don't think this is a compelling ad, to be honest. So use AI to do research, use AI to do brainstorming and like sharpen your ideas. And then on the tooling side and the actual content production side, I know there's plenty of tools now. Everybody has an AI plugin. There's Decrypt. I forgot the AI editing thing. When I talk to my creative team here at Cordial, all I hear is cool, but it's going to be better if I do it myself. So it still feels like it's making progress, but it's not quite fully there. It's co-pilot, not autopilot, I guess you could say.
I've been listening to people online, and they're pushing the usage of AI, and this is everywhere, not just marketing, like even engineering teams. Is your team adopting to AI? Do you push your team to use more and more AI tools?
I'll have to push them. I think it's there. It's just they're pushing themselves in a way. And yes, we do, as a enterprise software company, we have a decent tech stack. So we have like AI native or AI centric products, SaaS applications in our stack. So people have to use that anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of people on my team are pretty resourceful, so they always go find the ways to kind of like automate some of their workflows with some AI stuff for sure. I think we've passed the adoption phase in a way.
I think we'll just summarize. So probably I'll closing notes from my side. I'll summarize what I learned from this. I think from you, I learned that when you are running ads, try to think where your audience is in terms of problem aware, solution aware, and then focus on those aspects. Second, I think don't try to stand out. Don't try to be what the rest of the world is doing. Like especially if you're marketing on a platform, don't become exactly like how your competitors are marketing on that same platform. What's yours?
Research, as I said, like go deep on research and deeply understand the motivations, the emotions of your buyer as a person. The other thing I think we discussed was it's not that B2B ads are boring. It's more like they're safe and cautious in a way, right? And because we feel like simple is too risky. And so be simple. Simple is risky, and that's a good thing. Remove all the jargon and the product features and all of that junk. So I guess like any advertising, whether it's B2B, B2C, it's just like you have to keep in mind the human aspect of your audience. It's so basic, such a basic thing to say, but sometimes B2B, we tend to forget that, there's a human watching your video on the other side.
So great, Julien. Thank you so much for taking our time. If people want to reach out to you or learn more about you, what's the best way?
LinkedIn is the best way. That's the only social media I'm using, so you can find me there.
Excellent. Thank you, Julien, for your time, and have a lovely week.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Rish.